What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kia Love. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. As you know, I typically pop on here to show y'all a couple of vegan meals, plant-based recipes, things like that. But today I'm going to hit you with a little something different. If you haven't checked out my bio, I absolutely am a believer in natural remedies, and one of those major natural remedies that I love to use is sea moss. Now, if you don't know what sea moss is, it is a reef, a coral reef that's algae. It's a type of algae, y'all. I cannot think of the word for nothing, but it's an algae. Full of plenty of healing benefits. It's nourishing and healing for your body. I first personally learned about it through Dr. Sebi. I've been following him since like 2014, 2015. God rest his soul, rest in peace. And he specifically talked about the Irish sea moss, the Chondrus crispus sea moss. Now, when I say sea moss, please know there are different types of sea moss, so I'm just using the term in general, but I am referring to the sea moss that Dr. Sebi referred to. So, please note, one, when you purchase sea moss, make sure that it is the legit thing. There is fake sea moss going around. There is fake sea moss going around. So make sure that you buy from a company that you trust. Do your due diligence, okay? Do your due diligence. So when you're trying to go find sea moss, make sure you buy it from a legitimate company, that you do your due diligence, and you make sure you understand where your sea moss is coming from and how they prepare it. I'm not going to get into all that, but just know there is fake sea moss. So do your due diligence. And then two, also, you can already buy sea moss gel, but to get the most bang for your buck, I recommend you buy it raw. Buy the raw sea moss and make your own. That's what I'm going to show you how to do today, because it's super easy, y'all. Super easy. You'll get the most bang for your buck. And also, if you don't know, when you buy sea moss gel, you usually have to use it up within 2 weeks, and it starts to lose some of its potency, because as you know, with the real foods, with real herbs, real plants, those do disintegrate and expire after a while, or quickly. So I'm going to show you how to make your own sea moss gel. If you don't know the benefits, do your research. I can go and talk about it all day about the benefits of it. So I'm just going to say, do your research, but it does supply 92 of the 102 minerals that your body needs. So I personally love to use it as like a multivitamin. And also you can use it as a face mask. It cleanses the pores. It cleanses your face. It tightens it. It smooths it. I personally break out really bad when I get my eyebrows waxed, like really bad, to the point to where it even break out down here, up here. And the first time I broke out from it, I did not do anything about it, and it lasted for 2 weeks. The breakout lasted 2 weeks. This past time I did it a couple of weeks ago, and I waited like 3 more months before I did it. Now, I broke out again really bad, to the point where my family was like, girl, you need to stop getting your eyebrows waxed. And this time I did something about it. I actually created a face mask using sea moss as the base, and it cleared it up in 3 days. 3 days, it was completely gone. Like, I already saw the benefits every day, but it cleared it up completely in 3 days. So I'm telling you, sea moss is very healing for your body. It's full of healing and nourishing benefits. You can use it as a face mask. You can make applesauce with it. You can add fruit to it and make it like a flavored applesauce. You can use it as a thickener in your baked goods. You can use it in all kinds of ways, and it's just so healing for your body. So I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? And in case you ever tried it and you're like, girl, I can't stand that fishy smell, I'm also going to show you how to help get rid of some of that sea ocean taste, okay? All right, let's go. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering, because I know sometimes people don't know where to start, in case you're wondering, where do you get your sea moss? I will drop a few links below of a couple of the companies that I have purchased from. But like I said, do your due diligence and purchase from the companies that you feel safe from. This is not sponsored in any way. I'm just trying to help people out. It's hard out here in these streets, and I'm telling you, you can save a lot of money if you just make your own sea moss gel. All right, so let's go. So like I said, this one says full spectrum Irish sea moss. This one just says sea moss. And I'm going to actually use this one today. So trust me, you only need a little bit. So you're going to take a little bit of, this is the dried sea moss. You're just going to take a little bit of it. I'm actually going to throw in this little piece here too. It's probably going to be a lot. This is probably going to be a little bit too much, honestly, but trust me, it's going to fill up. And then you want to take some clean water. You want to make sure your water is clean, filtered as much as possible, because it is going to soak in this water overnight. You want to make sure it's not full of the bad stuff. You want it to be clean, pure water. Now, hopefully this bowl is big enough. I usually use a larger bowl, but actually need my larger bowl today. So I'm just going to put it in here. And to help get rid of that fishy taste, that ocean taste, I am going to help this add a lime. Now the lime is going to help get rid of some of that ocean taste, but it's also going to help clean the sea moss because there's a lot of debris on sea moss, which will clean after it soaks after a while. It's also going to help get rid of some of that natural salt that's on there. So I'm just going to squeeze the lime in there and then also drop the halves in there. That's going to help get rid of some of that ocean taste. In case I wasn't clear on how much water to use, y'all, I'm sorry, I don't have an exact measurement. I would just say get a large bowl and fill it up. You want to make sure your sea moss is completely covered and you want a lot more water than sea moss. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's going to really expand. And then you're just going to cover it and let it sit overnight. All right, y'all, so it's the next day. Sea moss has been soaking for 24 hours. As you can see, this is what it looks like. So now it's time to wash it. You want to make sure you clean it really, really, really good. So y'all, like I said, you want to make sure that you clean your sea moss very, very well. You have to remember that it's been at the bottom of the ocean or the sea, whatever you want to call it. Let's not get technical here, okay? But yes, it has. So there's going to be debris and salt and sand and whatever in there. And also you have to remember that whoever you purchase your sea moss from, the actual source of the sea moss, the person, the group, the company, whatever that actually distributes the sea moss to them, they actually dry it out. So once they take it from the water, they have to dry it out. So they're either going to sit it on the sand, tie it to some ropes to sit it outside in the sun. But it has to dry out. The sun dries it out. So even through that process, you just want to make sure that you have it, clean it off as best as you can. So y'all, I get close. As you can see, I inspect it. If I see anything that doesn't look like sea moss, that can look like anything extra, I cut it off, I clean it off, I do what I gotta do. So yeah, make sure you clean it off really well. Also, if you prefer, you can actually clean it off prior to doing the 12 to 24 hour soak. I just find it easier to clean it off after I do the soak, but hey, it's up to you. If you find it easier, or you feel more at peace cleaning it off prior to, feel free to do so. So after it's clean, you're going to grab a high-speed blender. You do need a high-speed blender. And then you're going to grab some fresh water. You do not want to use the same water that you used to soak the sea moss. We threw that out. You want to start with fresh, clean water. Y'all, I'm sorry I don't have a measurement, but what I like to do is fill the water to almost the top of the sea moss. The consistency is key here. I know you want thick sea moss, but you definitely want it to be more thin when you're blending it because it's definitely going to get thicker as it sits in the fridge. You can always add more water later on this part right here. So if you're not sure, you can start off with less and just add as you need to. And you'll see what the consistency you're looking for once I'm done here. But yeah, so I just go with this every time. I just fill it to almost the top. So there are two key tips to making sure you have super smooth sea moss. One is you want to make sure you soak it long enough. That's why you want to soak it for 12 to 24 hours. And two, you want to make sure that you blend it long enough. I would recommend blending it for about 2 minutes. You want to make sure you really blend it up so it can be nice and smooth. And of course, I said the consistency is key, which you'll see here in a minute. But another thing I want to point out is some people do not go straight to the blending part. Some people go straight from cleaning it to boiling it. They boil it in hot water prior to blending it, but I personally skip this step. I do not boil it. I want to keep it as raw as possible because I do not want to lose some of its benefits. I want to get the maximum benefits and properties from the sea moss, and this is just going off of the current knowledge that I know. I personally don't even boil my vegetables, so that's just my personal preference, y'all. I may learn something in the future that caused me to want to go ahead and boil it first before I use it, but for now, I keep it as fresh and raw as possible. I do not boil it, but feel free to check it out and figure out why they do that, and it's up to you whether you want to do so or not. But enough of that. Let's get to this consistency, y'all. Look at this consistency. I know you're like, girl, that is not thick. I'm telling you, this is perfect. This consistency right here is perfect because it's going to thicken in the fridge and make the perfect thickness. So usually, y'all, what I do is I use a jar just enough for 2 weeks. Now, if I use this every day, this would be a good 2-week jar. And then I use these small 4-ounce jars to freeze the sea moss, and then I just take it out when I need it. That's what I do. So let's go ahead and fill these jars up. So I'm going to fill it up in this jar right here. It's a 16-ounce jar. Now, if you're going to freeze it, you definitely don't want to freeze it to the top because when you freeze it, it's going to expand. So leave at least ½ an inch at the top. You don't want your glass to break. So this is the sea moss. This is how much sea moss I have. I'll pop it in the refrigerator. And for the sea moss that I'm going to freeze, y'all, I just put it in a freezer bag and I seal it tight and put it in the freezer. I'll take it out in the future when I need it. So this is after it's been in the refrigerator for 4 hours, just to show you so you can see what I mean. As you can see, flip it upside down. It's not coming out. It's not coming out, y'all. It's stuck. Look at how perfectly thick this is, y'all. Look at this. It's so nice and thick and smooth, y'all. It's not going anywhere, but it's smooth. It like melts in your mouth. And also look at how bouncy it is. It's solid, y'all. This is the perfect texture that I was talking about. So y'all, a few days later, I decided to make some mango sea moss gel. I just took some of that sea moss gel that we had in the refrigerator and blended it up with a fresh mango, and this is it. Y'all, I cannot find the recording of me scooping it out so you can see the consistency, but y'all, it was not as thick. It actually thinned it out, so it wasn't as thick, and it was perfect. The texture was like custard. I'm so mad I can't find that, but y'all, I cannot keep my hands off of it. It was so good. You have to try it.